Breaking news into CountryCast, a terrifying situation unfolded overnight at the home of country superstar Carrie Underwood and her husband, retired NHL star Mike Fisher. A house fire broke out at their Tennessee residence. The family was home when this happened and actually had to escape from the blaze. Now, emergency crews raced to the scene, and thankfully they were able to get the situation under control in a short period of time. What a blessing, because we've seen situations in the past where country artists have dealt with total losses in their homes. We'll look at more of that in just a moment, but here is that scary situation that went down last night at Carrie Underwood's home, and we're thankful that she and her husband and her entire family are okay. Now, we definitely got to shout out the courageous folks at the Williamson County Fire and Rescue who were able to get this terrifying situation under control in such a short amount of time. This is their recap of this incident. They wrote, at 9:42, Station 21 was dispatched to a fire alarm in their district. Almost immediately, the call was upgraded to a structure fire. Crews from all 8 of our stations responded. Fairview Fire provided a tanker and crew as well. Upon arrival, 1401 found flames coming from the garage. Crews were able to knock down the fire quickly to prevent spread into the house. Firefighters continue to put out hot spots to prevent further spread. The cause of the fire is under investigation, and there are no injuries at this time. So that could have been a lot worse. Now here's more. They shared some pictures from the scene. So here are some of the photos shared by Williamson County Fire and Rescue, and it said that there was a UTV that was parked outside of their home that actually caught on fire and spread to the house, which is what was the cause of this situation, according to a report I'm going to show you in just a moment. And you can see here, these are the heroes that were able to get this situation under control in such a short amount of time. Very, very brave. You can see here, there they are working the scene outside of the house. And again, in so many other circumstances, country stars have, in cases, lost their homes, and they were able to, as they mentioned in their statement, get this under control in a short amount of time, which is not easy to do. And so very big deal that they were able to correct this issue, because it certainly could have been a lot worse. And so they got there quick, and as they mentioned, they weren't playing around. They sent crews from every fire station to this house to make sure that this wasn't a situation. So huge kudos to Williamson County Fire and Rescue for getting this under control. This is something that I think is taken for granted, and it's like, oh yeah, they got the fire under control. I mean, you know, it could have been a lot worse. Now, this local news report has more details on this fire at Carrie Underwood's home. This is from WKRN.com. It says, crews extinguish fire at Carrie Underwood's home. Here's more. It says the fire began at 9:40 p.m. in the Pinewood community. According to Williamson County Fire and Rescue, the county dispatched all 8 of its stations to Underwood's property because of the home's remote location. So that is something we've seen in the past, where some of these country stars that live in really remote locations, the fires can spread out of control before the crews are even able to get there. So this is why Williamson County Fire and Rescue legends are able to get there very quick, and they just sent everybody to deal with this fast, because it could have been a lot worse. So their all hands on deck response here is definitely credited with helping them do that. It's a very much worthy of applause. It says officials told News 2 fire crews had to travel up a long road, then up a long driveway to the primary residence. First responders found a fully involved fire at the property's garage. So there was definitely, it was starting to spread. It was starting to potentially engulf the property if they hadn't got under control so fast. Firefighters were able to quickly knock down the fire thanks to the home's 10,000-gallon water tank already on the premises. So shout out to Carrie Underwood and her husband Mike for having that there, which seemed to have helped them a lot. Crews tapped into that water tank and quickly knocked it down. Firefighters then remained on scene for several hours since the fire actually got into the walls and kept trying to flare up. So, I mean, they really understand here all of the nuances of the fires, where it can even come back in a few hours if they don't stick around. It seems like that was trying to happen. Just a terrifying situation to go through. You've got your kids in the house. I imagine they're very shaken up by this. It says there was no injuries to Underwood or the family, who were at the home at the time of the fire. According to Williamson County Fire and Rescue, officials say there's no damage to the primary residence. Again, that could have happened very easily, so they got there quick to stop that. It says investigators are working to determine if the fire was sparked by a UTV parked next to the garage. That's believed what may have happened there. It says the The fire on the property Sunday night, which was quickly contained. There was no fire damage to the primary residence, and the family and their pets were unharmed. Now, Carrie Underwood is not the only country artist that has dealt with terrifying house fires, and as I mentioned earlier, this could have been a lot worse. And for the great Trace Adkins, back in 2011, his home was unfortunately destroyed by a house fire. So this is from Fox News back in 2011. It says, country star Trace Adkins' home destroyed in a fire. It says, country music star Trace Adkins lost his home, his music awards, and his family's possessions in a devastating house fire, the Tennessean reported. No one was hurt during the blaze, with Adkins' wife Rhonda saving the couple's 3 daughters and nanny escaping unhurt, while the singer himself was on a plane on his way to Alaska at the time. You can replace things, not people. I'm just glad that my children are safe, Rhonda Adkins said. The couple lived at the 5,000 square foot mansion in Brentwood, Nashville for 11 years. The fire broke out around 3:45 local time Saturday, quickly gutted the home despite the best efforts of the firefighters. She said, I'm just numb. I'm sad because we lost irreplaceable things like all Trace's awards and family photos. So we're sending our thoughts and prayers out to Carrie Underwood and her family during this difficult time. They must be shaken up by such a terrifying ordeal. That's your latest update here from CountryCast. Be sure to subscribe with notifications on for the latest news and updates.